Hello everyone, my name is Mary Kynard and I'm doing my presentation on mindful leadership. Mindful leadership is a leader who hears both sides of a story without judgment for either side, aware of everything that may happen or has happened, but still makes no judgment. Leaders must be able to have compassion, which is understanding when someone inspires others to make a difference in their job, their life, or other aspect that is a leader. I read a quote once when I was doing my research that said, mindfulness creates space to let new information in and to allow us to see how it relates to what we already know. There's 4 definitions for mindfulness that I really liked, and I want to focus on those for a minute. The first one, of course, is focus. If you have a project, you have to focus on everything that's going on with the project in order to stay on track. If you're in a meeting, the project that you're preparing or giving out to the people in the room, right at that moment is the most important thing to you. So make sure you focus and do a good job on it. Clarity. Clarity is very important to me simply because if I'm not clear of what I have to do, or if I'm not clear, if I tell someone to do something and they're not clear on what has to be done, then how in the world are they going to be able to know the project that I want for them and the guidelines that I would like for them to go by? Creativity. I don't have a creative bone in my body, but I write well and I research well. So if I were in a project, I would find someone who has ideas for being very clear and has creativity, and then I could write and research what we need to do. That would be a good person to work with. Compassion. Compassion helps us to understand ourselves and others and the overwhelming similarities we may have. Compassion is needed in a leader because they are dealing with other people's problems and lives. If you don't have compassion for other people, then you're bound to doom because you are not going to be able to work with a lot of different people at one time. You have to have compassion. You have to ask somebody just simple questions like, hey, what did you do last night? That's not showing the compassion, but the information will help you when they have something wrong. And a lot of times, if you know your workers, you know when are being reacting in a different manner than they normally do. So ask them. There's nothing wrong with asking them. What's wrong? Purposeful pause is the thing that I want to concentrate most on what I've learned in this class. Purposeful pause is a moment in a day when you notice the swirl and choose to intentionally pay attention. This quote from the book on chapter 5 made me stop and think about my life and how I could use purposeful pauses. The purposeful pause has made a difference in my work performances. It's given me an option to just stop for a minute, think about what I need to do next, and take that time to breathe. That to me is very important. And since I have started doing this, then the thing is, I don't want to stop. I don't do it every minute of the day, of course, but I don't want to stop doing it. And sometimes you need to press pause to let everything sink in. How purposeful pauses made a difference for me. During the process of learning more about the purposeful pauses, I came across this, what I call my recipe for pauses. This helps me to have simple ways to show anyone how to do the pause. And it will be a foolproof session for me. It can take just a minute or it can take more than up to 5 minutes. So the time that you need is what you need to take. And this actually tells you how to gaze down or even close your eyes. Now, I try not to close my eyes too much because I had a boss walk into me on me one time when I had closed my eyes to think. And luckily, I'm Catholic, and I was able to do the sign of the cross and say amen. So when I opened my eyes, he was there. I know, it's tricky and it's devious, but it worked at the time. And that's what I liked about it. Be aware of the time frame that you have and know that you don't have to take the 1 minute or 5 minutes. You can take a walk at that time. Take a 15-minute walk. Take a 15-minute break. Do what you need to get focused back on what you needed to do. Teaching my grandchildren purposeful pauses has now been a great tool for me to help me and to help them. Of course, they don't understand a lot of it yet. They don't get frustrated like we do. However, I have noticed that my grandson, who is 6, is getting more frustrated than he used to. So I will tell him to stop, think about what you want to say, how you want to say it, and then you can think clearly about not saying something mean to someone or just saying something that you don't normally say. So think about it. Don't react on your reaction. React to what you need to. But of course, again, he really doesn't understand that yet. So who knows? Maybe in time to come, he'll say, well, Nana taught me that. So that is my presentation. I have done some works cited on here, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.